join our commentary team for this one. Joe Johnson, and first up, good afternoon, Philip Studd.
Good afternoon, Andy. And it's going to be fascinating to see now. We're getting serious here in Barnsley. Just 8 players remaining to contest the English Open title and the £70,000 first prize, whether Neil Robertson can produce the sort of form that won him the world title back in 2010, that has made him a 2 times UK champion and a Masters winner, against a dangerous player in Anthony McGill, who of course famously defeated Mark Selby when he was a first-time defending champion at the Crucible, and then the following year beat Sean Murphy in the first round in Sheffield. He's a big occasion player. Do you think the longer best-of-9 frame format now, Joe, favours McGill or Robertson today?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, it's still a short match, best-of-9. Obviously, it's a little bit longer than the best-of-7, but it's still a short match, and whoever gets in front is going to feel confident, and I think that McGill has got something to prove with losing the last 4 matches that he's played against Robertson. So he'll be looking to avenge those defeats. And an early opener for him.
1.
Yes, all of their 4 previous meetings that have gone Robertson's way have been over the best-of-7 frames, so this is the longest match that they'll have played in terms of the duration.
Well, that's a very, very good shot. He put himself under pressure very quickly there, but certainly made up for the poor positional shot. I do like his... Just let him take his shot here. I like his approach to the game, although not quite that one. That was a poor miss for Anthony. And he's left a chance for Neil Robertson. After the good blue as well. He'll be disappointed with that.
What?
Just coming a little too far for the blue. Probably wanted to go into the reds. He could still do it, but it's a tough shot from there.
Thank you. 5.
Well, he's got an angle on the yellow to go into the reds or come across the table, play for that loose one into the left corner. Didn't quite get enough power in the cue ball.
7.
Didn't catch them full enough.
Touching ball. Neil Robertson, 7.
Misjudged the pace there, Neil. Cue ball should have been closer to the cushion. was some distance away. I know it's early doors this, but well, never touched the angles. And to make matters worse, he's left a red to the middle. Neil's duly knocked in. So another chance, Neil Robertson. Well, he got spun into the cue ball instead of topspin. You can't understand that. He was playing off the two cushions to come into the reds, and he got a bit of stun into the cue ball. He's just had a look there to see if he takes a long red on to the green pocket, would he leave anything to the left centre? Well, maybe the other red. That one was more difficult.
Neil Robertson, 6.
But there was less danger with it. Considering playing the long, thin cut to the green pocket. Well, he was about to. Well, we could have our first re-rack.
Anthony McGill, 4.
It's very delicate, this, because neither player wants to leave that red to the right middle.
Touching ball.
Well, he could leave the cue ball in the jaws of this corner pocket down here. Thinking of playing it onto the side cushion, but I think the jaws of the pocket. He's looking at that now. Well, he didn't play it hard enough, and I'm pretty sure that Neil Robertson will be taking one of these reds on. It was a real mistake by Anthony McGill.
One.
Well, that's broke the deadlock. Choice of blue, black or yellow. Maybe even, not sure if the green will pass the red. The brown will. The blue looks the easier shot for a left-handed player.
Five. Six.
Well, he could play the cannon to the pink here. The red doesn't go. Develop the pink, he'd be on the red to the middle or the corner.
$11. $12.
He's hit it too hard. And it seemed to me during this break that it's just not made up his mind on the shots that he's played. Starting with the first one when he took the brown, when he had a straight blue. Maybe he's overthinking things.
Neil Robertson, 12.
A scratchy start to proceedings then from both players. Anthony McGill has had the tougher run to get here, as has already been referenced. 3 final frame deciders: Michael Holt, Kani Sawad, and the very talented Chinese Yan Bingtao. So he's battle hardened coming into this match with Robertson.
Well, applause, but he's left a red on. And I always think that Neil Robertson, when he's attacking the balls, he's really a fearful player. Puts real fear into his opponents.
One.
Made 100 centuries one season and did that by attacking the balls. Well, that's more like it. Didn't quite get into the reds as he wanted, but he might still be able to pot this red to the right corner.
5.
A super confident Neil Robertson would play the cue ball into the reds and stay on the black. Let's see if he plays that shot. It's going to have to go into the reds at some stage. Yeah, that's the shot to play. That could win him the frame, that shot.
Thirteen. Fourteen.
35 the
20.
lead. Nothing safe.
$21.
Well, don't think he's held a spot. No, he's okay.
27. 28.
There's pink and one more red. And he'll have his first frame on the board.
$34. 35. 42.
McGill has yet to get going. It took a while for Robertson to find his feet in this frame,
43.
but this should settle any nerves.
$50. 51. 58. 60. 63. 67. 72. 78. $85 in the frame.
It took a while to unfold, but when Neil Robertson got the chance, he took it impressively. A clearance of 85 from the former world champion to settle any pre-quarterfinal nerves. Robertson leading McGill 1-0. Barnsley Metrodome is underway. Neil Robertson with a break of 85 to take the opening frame against Anthony McGill, a player he's never lost to in 4 previous meetings.
So the break-off has left a long red and refused one in the last frame. And I think he's got to be aggressive and take the game to Neil Robertson. And again, he's played the safety. I know it was risky. And that's the problem when you're playing a really top player like Robertson. You can knock one of those in. Got to try and get in first. And now it's down to Neil Robertson whether Anthony comes back to the table or not. This was a fantastic shot.
3. Four. Six.
Now he's on the red to the middle, but not quite straightforward to get to the black. He may have to come round the back of it, off 2 cushions.
7.
Is he on it? Looks like he is. Good positional shot.
$14. $15.
Well, he's shaking his head, so
22.
looks like he may have bounced too far for the red. Yep, there's confirmation. Can't pot that one.
Neil Robertson, 22.
Well, that's a negative safety shot that Neil's played there and could be in trouble next shot. Cue ball could be dead on the cushion behind the green. He could have played down the table himself. nice pace.
Mark Williams is a fan of that shot, almost the deliberate miscue, just clipping the edge of the cue ball to avoid the push, but stalemate at the moment.
Yes, and again, I thought it was a little negative. This could have gone down the table. Now he could be in trouble. Now a similar shot to what Robertson played a moment ago. Just trying to land up into the reds. He hasn't judged it well, though. It could come off the reds, this. Now, has he left this red on? No, I can't pot that one. Looking at the possible plant, but that would take some making. Well, this is a very risky shot to play. But he's got it. Played it with some safety in mind, taking the cue ball close to the cushion. Knows he was going to be on the blue. What a brave shot to play. He's certainly been the more aggressive of the two so far. Looking for every opportunity to win the frame.
Six. Seven.
Well, if you can get top side of the blue here,
13.
be able to go into the reds. Not enough angle.
I
think he played down for the red directly above the black spot, but hasn't quite come far enough. So he can take this red to the middle. Try and get top side of the blue.
$19.
Just caught the middle pocket bump, which kept the cue ball closer to the cushion. So still got a couple of reds to play for. But chose to go into them. Hasn't worked out. Didn't quite catch them full enough.
24.
Wanted to catch the pink full ball rather than half ball.
Neil Robertson, 24.
So a handy 46-point advantage for Neil Robertson. There's nothing wrong with his pot success thus far. He's only missed one. Anthony McGill yet to really get a look in. Hasn't potted a ball for half an hour.
Robertson would have liked to have pushed a red towards the cushion, but he couldn't do that and get the cue ball down the table as well. But that's a good safety. This is a trouble again for Anthony McGill. Well, it was a tough pot. Had it gone in, could have won the frame. He'd have covered the red over the middle. Had he got the pot, cue ball would have been higher up the cushion. So this is definitely a good chance for Anthony.
1.
Only his third pot of the match so far, so an opportunity for McGill to try and find some rhythm, get the pace of the table.
Three. Four. Ten. $11.
Delicate little shots these. Has to be precise with the position.
18.
But now, should
19.
be plain sailing. Just a little shorter pace.
26.
Just 20 points behind now, but he's favourite for this frame.
$27. $33. 34. $41. 42.
Well, it was Neil Robertson's aggressive shot, red to the middle. He played the positive shot, taking the red on, could have played the safety. Good pot on the green.
45. Thank you.
A little heavy.
47.
It should be okay. This is the red that he took on. Tried to hide the red in the middle, but unfortunately, because he missed the red, Didn't get the cue ball where he wanted.
McGill needs the blue and the pink as well as this brown to be sure of the frame.
$54.
Robertson first in, built a 46-point lead.
$59.
But having had precious little table time, Anthony McGill has taken these exceptionally well. And he levels the match in style with a 65 clearance. That was good stuff from McGill. He's going to pop the black as well. Or at least try to. He'll be more than happy with the run of 65, though. That was impressive stuff from Anthony McGill. He's cucumber cool, and he's levelled this quarter-final at 1 frame apiece after Robertson's initial salvo of 85. 1-1. Responding to Neil Robertson's first frame break of 85 with a 65 to the pink from 46 adrift to level the match. Five frames, of course, is now the target for a place in the semi-finals tomorrow. And the winner of this match will play the winner of tonight's feature, Ronnie O'Sullivan, who was brilliant in denying John Higgins yesterday against Jack Lazowski, who produced a superb break to see off Judd Trump, also in a final frame decider. That's up at 7 o'clock tonight. Before that, Hossein Vafai will be doing battle against Kyron Wilson here on table 1. And that's a very good pot from Anthony McGill.
Yes, that's more like it. Well, when he says very good pot, he's not kidding. Hardly any pocket there from that angle. Now, a chance to open the reds, and if you can try and find the gap between those reds there, they should open nicely. I'm surprised he didn't play the attacking shot there and open the reds up. He's got to do it at some stage to win the match. And that looked a good opportunity.
Nine. White. Okay.
Well,
Anthony McGill, 9.
shots are never easy with the rest, but after he potted the green and yellow in the last frame, when there was a lot of pressure there, I expected him to pot that one. So, chance for Neil Robertson.
1.
Well, this not quite as easy as McGill's shot to go into the reds, but I feel he'll still do it. And he'll settle for that. He's on a red. Didn't bust as he wanted.
8.
Maybe a chance to do it again in a moment. Just having a look to see if there's any plants there. And, well, don't think the plant's on, but maybe the red below it is.
9.
Chose to play for the blue to try and go into the reds. Cue ball just a little closer to the cushion than he would have wanted. May have to come up 2 cushions. And this time he got the top spin on. Again, he's unfortunate. Deserves something.
14.
Now that aggressive shot going into the pack of reds. Lots of topspin and right-hand side on the cue ball there. Still got a possible pot to the middle, but very awkward cueing. Needs to slow down.
15.
Well, that pot deserves so much more than the snooker. But you never know what the snooker may bring.
Neil Robertson, 15.
Well, he could afford to play this plant. Take the cue ball back to the baulk area. He'd be on the green if it goes in. I think Robertson should have looked at this. That was close. Is that red going to come far enough to be potable to the middle? I think it has. So another chance for Robertson. Maybe a red just below the pink. That will go to the left corner. Yeah, there's confirmation. That red will go. Right-handed player may take the green. That would have got him to the red.
Five.
Another good pot. Now, can he get to this red? That will go to the left corner once the pink is respotted. If not, then he could screw into the reds. And that's what he's chose to do. Deserves to be on something. There was a lot of power in that shot. Look at this again. Look at the cue ball coming through the reds with all that whiz on the cue ball.
He's never lacked for cue power, Robertson. He
13.
cues beautifully when he's at his best, which, as we've discussed, he's not been in ranking events in the last season and a half or so. Not really since he won his second UK title and the Champion of Champions back end of 2015. He was in sublime form at that stage. Since then, it's been patchier, by his own admission. His desire for practice waned for a while. He was more interested in his World of Warcraft figurines
21.
and computer games. But he's certainly got the work ethic back, even back in recent months. He's been putting in the hard yards on the practice table, and given the amount of class he's got, Joe, it's surely only a matter of time before he starts to play as he did a couple of seasons back.
Yeah, and I like the way he's attacked the balls today. He had a little bit of a nervous first frame, and it was an attacking shot that cost him the second
29.
frame. But overall, he's been aggressive. Don't think he wants to get into a big, long safety battle with Anthony McGill. Couldn't really get onto a red, ideally. So, left this one.
37.
And now, ideal position on the blue to come down for that red. Just above the black. That releases the other two reds into the left corner. Looking good. And this is all because he played the aggressive shot, screwing the cue ball into the pack of reds.
42. $43.
So just one more red needed. And he's left himself straight on the black, or straight-ish. He's played it well.
50.
And that black was enough anyway. But
51.
this is good stuff, this, from McGill. Oh, sorry, Robertson.
$58.
Still hard to credit his 103 100 breaks in a single
59.
season back in 2013-14. Phenomenal achievement, may never be bettered. Consulted Stephen Hendry about the mechanics of break building, and Hendry, in his usual way, was pretty honest with Robertson. In fact, he called him an amateur at break building. But Robertson took it to heart, took the criticism on the chin, went away and made a few adjustments to his approach, and my goodness,
67.
did it pay off?
Well, speaking of centuries, possible one here. Needs to slow down though, or kiss full.
74.
He's made 14 so far this season, 46 last.
Well, it just rubbed the green.
76.
Just enough room for the yellow to pass the green. That was another good shot from Robertson.
79.
Oh, what a shame.
Neil Robertson, 79.
It was a shame. It was a brilliant break, though, from Neil Robertson. The way he split the pack of reds in particular was impressive, on his way to a frame-winning contribution of 79 to move back in front at 2-1. Excellent break of 79, which was very nearly a century, to move 2-1 in front of Anthony McGill, and we're one frame away from our first interval of this tournament. Of course, it's now the best of 9 as opposed to the best of 7 frames. Neil Robertson's pot success outstanding at the moment. He's missed just 3, 96%. That is world class. McGill trailing a little in that department. Robertson just edging the safety battle as well so far.
Can you be quiet with the wrappers, please?
And after this frame, we will have aforementioned mid-session interval. And Andy, Jimmy and Neil will all be on the practice table. Quite what they'll be practicing remains to be seen, so stay tuned.
Look at the white ball check back down the table. Hasn't quite hit it hard enough, but it was a good shot that. Played it with a lot of left-hand side on the cue ball. Could it be costly? Well, he was a long way off, and that's why the cue ball went into the other red. And maybe a chance here. This red to the right corner. Well, again, that's not a good safety shot. If he's covered it with the yellow, he's very fortunate. The red should never have gone anywhere near the left corner pocket. And it looks like he can see it. He'll be very disappointed with that one, Anthony McGill.
1.
Potted it a little thin, and that's why he's lost the cue ball. Well, this is a very tough pot if he decides to take it on. And the cue ball could be going into the brown. If it is, it's not worth taking on. Couldn't have got any closer without dropping. And again, a very aggressive shot he played. Could have played the snooker.
I think it's a good sign, though, for Robertson that he is looking to be aggressive. He's undoubtedly at his best when he is going for it, when he is dictating the pattern of the match rather than allowing his opponent to do so.
Yeah, and in this day and age, Phil, you know, a 50-60 break doesn't win you frames. So even if Anthony makes a 40, 50, 60 break, there'll only be a few balls left on the table, which is left for a clearance. So you don't always pay the price by being aggressive. And sometimes it really pays off, as it did in the last frame.
6. Seven. Well, thank you. 13.
Well, if you can see the green, you could try and split the reds from this green. It was a good attempt. Where's it going to finish? If it's in the gap of those reds there,
16.
and it is...
Just us, please.
That's the positional shot of the century.
I cannot believe that shot. It's the only place on the table where he can pot a ball. That is absolutely incredible.
Well, I look forward to the guys recreating that shot during the mid-sesh.
Yeah, Jimmy would be able to get that.
17.
Be worth taking another look at that shot because you'll never see its like again.
Yes, I'd buy him a car if he got that one. Well, has he played for the plant there?
19.
If there's a plant there, he could have played for it off the green. There's a red that will go into this right corner. Too high.
Anthony McGill, 19. So
that attacking shot that Neil Robertson attempted It's only cost him 19. Look at the cue power there from Neil Robertson. In fact, he's unfortunate. It's come too far. Easy enough to play the snooker behind the blue, but easy enough to come off the side cushion and land up into them. Well, that's unfortunate. Tried to make something happen. Just the safety.
Neil Robertson, 3. Neil, yours just coming out the side.
That's a good pot and a good chance as reds that will go. Yes, he's on one.
3.
If this one does go in, he's opened the reds up nicely.
Four.
Wow, what a good kiss on the brown. He was too hard.
Seven. Eight. 13. 14. 21. 22.
And left a nice angle on the black just to stand up for the red above the black. And that frees the other reds. So red and
29.
black would leave 52 points in the game. 51 on the table.
$30.
These points, the result of Neil Robertson leaving a
37.
long red for McGill when he was playing safe. It was a good opening red. And with that red
38.
disappearing, it looks for certain as though it's going to be honours even at the interval. Robertson has felt slightly the stronger player. He's been very aggressive. He's been a little bit unlucky going into the bunch at times. Not to land on something, but McGill is a real battler. And he's going to level the match for the second time.
41. $42. $49. $50.
Well, you still couldn't call it between these two. They're both queuing very well. Had that little bit of luck, well, say a little bit of luck, with that
55.
positional shot, beginning of this break.
57.
But nothing lucky about the rest of it.
$60. $64.
Made a 65 break in the second frame.
69. $75.
Four frames, four frame-winning breaks. It always promised to be a close encounter between Neil Robertson and Anthony McGill, and it's panning out that way thus far. Twice Robertson in front, twice the Aussie has been pegged back, and so it's all to play for at the interval. 2 frames apiece.
For the finale of this first quarter-final, Phil Studd and Joe Johnson.
So all to play for. Most of the week we've been playing best of 7s. We started today with a best of 9, but now it's a best of 5, the first of 3 frames, effectively. 5, the magic number.
Thank you, frame 5. Anthony McGill.
Beautifully poised. Anthony McGill twice coming back with really good breaks, having fallen a frame behind. In this, their 5th meeting, he's seeking his first ever against the Aussie left-hander. But it is a salient point, isn't it, Joe, with Robertson having to defend winners' points at the upcoming UK Championship, which is the cut-off for the Masters, and currently, provisionally, right on the threshold of missing out. He must be feeling the heat a little bit.
Yeah, wouldn't it be a shame if he wasn't in the Masters or the World Championship, for that matter? You know, may have to qualify for the World Championship, but it's a long way off yet. There's still tournaments that he could make up. And because he won the UK, as you said, a lot of points to come off.
He has qualified for the upcoming International Championship in China, which starts in just over a week's time. But he hasn't qualified for the Shanghai Masters after that. Lost to Chris Totten, surprisingly 5-2, Robertson.
1.
It was a good pot, but not hard enough to be on a colour to split the reds. When you need a big bounce, you don't get one. Well, looks very straight to me, that one. And he knows if he just rolls up to the yellow, Robertson will come off the side cushion and just land up into the reds. So playing the cue ball to the cushion.
McGill, 1.
Well, he may have got the snooker, so same scenario. Just come off the side cushion, land up into the reds.
Touching ball. Thank you.
Neither player wanting to open the reds. Just got a little bit negative this game. And by coming off the two cushions, landing up into the back of them. No way for Leo Robertson to play down the table unless this red is onto the corner. Cue ball not close enough to the cushion. But still, a problem for McGill. Doesn't want to leave that red to the right corner. So will he just run up into them again? Well, managed to move the red. Well, if you can play the cue ball over to the right side of the table, that would put McGill in a little bit more trouble than going down the left side of the table. Well, that's what he's attempted, but it's a little short of pace. Well, you could see that he was undecided there. Neil Robertson was going to take this long straight red onto the right corner at one stage, then changed his mind. I just wonder if he'll be tempted this time. No, can't be tempted. Well, I'm sure he'll be tempted this time if he can see enough of this red to the right corner. There's certainly a chance. The cue ball could be going into the reds off the cushion. Good pot. And lots of right-hand side on the cue ball. Oh, and that was a nice rub on the blue. Lots of side on the cue ball to avoid the reds. But that little flick on the blue left him nicely on the blue, and there's the red next to the black. That's available to the right corner. Not sure how much of an angle he's got on the blue, but if it's fairly straight, just drop it in dead weight. But had a little bit of an angle and didn't pot the blue cleanly, and that's why he's come a little too far for this red.
6. Seven.
Pink goes to this right corner and may go on to the black spot. Well, I'm saying it goes. We played for the pink, but it's tight. It will go, but only into half of the pocket.
13. $14. $20.
Not straight enough on this red, so not sure about position. Just into luck a little bit.
21.
But he's on the blue or green.
$24. $25.
And that's more like it. Straight up
31.
onto this red to play for the pink again. And that little cannon
32.
has developed those two reds. This is looking very good now for Robertson. Well, he didn't have to play the cannon, but he got it, and it's worked out well.
38. 39. Yeah.
In his pre-match interview, he said that he was enjoying his game again. And watching him play today, I think he is.
45.
Yes, this is more like the old Neil Robertson, isn't it? Just
46.
signs that the old confidence is beginning to return, and of course that comes with results. When you've had some setbacks, and he did bow out in the early stages of a number of the bigger events last season, it takes its toll. However good you are. But he proved his game was intact by winning the lucrative Hong Kong Masters this season. He beat Mark Selby, Marco
52.
Fu, and Ronnie O'Sullivan to win the title. You don't do that unless your game's in pretty good shape.
$53.
And the hard work that he has been putting in, that we referenced earlier, is beginning to show itself on the match table. Chasing his 13th
59.
ranking title this weekend.
60.
And he's won a title every year since 2006. That's pretty impressive when you consider the standard these days.
Well, that was frame ball. No applause, but
65.
it's been a very good break, this, and Anthony McGill can just sit and watch,
66.
wanting to make a century, bringing the red off the cushion.
71. $72.
Robertson spotted some wildlife on the pink. Ben Williams asked to clean it. Well, whatever it is, it's super glued to the cue ball. Or rather the pink ball. I think we're going to have a replacement.
Get one for next frame.
Sorry, just change it after the frame.
Yeah.
Just change it after.
Frame, of course, long since won, so not a problem, but I wouldn't mind betting it cost him that pot because his concentration was well and truly broken there. It doesn't matter. A 72 break from Neil Robertson, a very good one at that. Puts him into the lead for the third time at 3-2. On once again to Neil Robertson's outstanding break of 72 just now. He leads for the third time in this first quarter-final at the English Open and is within 2 frames now of a semi-final showdown with either Ronnie O'Sullivan or Jack Lazowski, who play this evening. A big break in every frame, though, thus far. Robertson with 85 in the opener, 79 in the third, 72 just now. In between, McGill 65 and 82. It's a pretty high standard, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's just had a look at the red to the right corner to see if he could go for that one and beyond the black. But didn't like it. So playing the safety. Well, he's pushed one right over the corner. Is he going to get some luck? He did. This is a really thin snick to this left corner pocket. In fact, he's overcut it. Don't think he can see the easy red to the right corner. And this one that Neil Robertson's played has just gone up the cushion slightly. Makes it difficult to get position onto a colour from. Attempting to play one red onto the other. This isn't easy either. Missed it completely. Now, has he left it this time? You can play one red onto the other. Well, he's hit it too well. I was expecting the cue ball to go into reds. So just the snooker, or attempted snooker.
Yeah, Robertson won.
Because it wasn't easy from where it was. Very tricky, rolling up to the colour from the cushion. Hasn't quite got the snooker. There's still something to think about for Anthony. Well, with the cue ball being close to the cushion like that, it's made this red down the cushion very difficult. And where does the colour come from if he does pot it? That's how difficult they are, though. You try to just make sure of the red and then play the snooker.
One.
Even these type of shots are no gimmies. You've got to put full concentration into these shots.
Six. Seven.
Well, a chance to hit straight back. They've been in front in this match.
$14. 15. 22. 23.
It was a strange season last time out for Anthony McGill, really. He did manage to win 2 ranking event titles, the Indian Open and the Shootout, of course. But he had quite a few disappointing results as well in between. And a really poor performance by his standards at the Crucible too. In the first round against Stephen Maguire, when he was never at the races, was heavily beaten.
30.
So I think this season, consistency would have been one of his goals. We know how good he can be. He's already made the final of the Indian Open, very
31.
nearly defended the title, missing out in the title match to Higgins.
38. $39.
He played that one well. That was a delightful little cannon. And now a chance to open
46.
more reds up. No, he's not going to take the pink. He's looking at where he wants to be if he does pot the red. But he could open the rest of the reds up if he so wishes.
$47.
Well, if he could take two blacks from these loose reds, there were 68 in the game with 67 left on the table. And I just wonder if he's done the maths.
53.
Well, he's certainly counting up now. Two blacks would be 68 in front.
$54.
Every time
61.
Neil Robertson has thrown a punch in this quarter-final, McGill has come back with one of his own.
Thank you. 62.
Oh, I've no doubt he'll play into the reds, but make absolutely sure of the black.
Body language suggests he's not on a red. Robertson needs a snooker.
Yeah, just one snooker though. He would have dearly loved to have been on another red. Keep Robertson sat in his seat. He could play the double, screw the cue ball back towards the black. Maybe even play the snooker behind the black. I think I'd like to see another red go in if I was McGill.
Anthony McGill.
And
69.
the balls very nicely for snookers. He could afford to take a blue if he played to pot this red. That's a good pot, but not a good kiss. And I don't think the black will double either. Not into the middle.
if he can't pot a colour, he's going to need 2 snookers to tie.
And still worth playing on, especially where the colours are up the table. As we look at this red to the corner again, kiss could have been kinder. Got very
Robertson,
close.
1. Frame conceded. Frame.
Robertson
Anthony McGill.
concedes the frame. So, for the 3rd time this afternoon, Anthony McGill holding firm, having fallen a frame behind. He's able to level the match, courtesy of that break of 69 for 3-all. Of 60. And a 69 just now from Anthony McGill, breaking off to level for the 3rd time against Neil Robertson at 3 apiece. So they both now need 2 frames to make the semi-finals.
He thought it was in. He thought it was in. He was walking round. Couldn't have got any closer without dropping. Look at this. He was off. Well, he thinks the middle pocket is in the way of landing up to this red nearest the right corner pocket. Because this is the shot to play.
Foul. A miss. Anthony McGill, 4. Okay.
So he needs to hit it this time because he can see a red. Full ball. This is hard enough. That's better.
Foul and a miss. Anthony McGill, 4.
Now then, he will be warned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Must warn you, if you fail to hit the ball on this occasion, we'll be different to your opponent.
Whatever you do, don't miss cue.
He's got to hit them. If he hits the pink, it's over. Well, he's left the red on to the right corner, but it's badly hampered by this red. And that is a let-off. Neil Robertson. Well, applause, but he didn't play the cue ball there. Played it to the cushion. Always looks as though he played the cue ball to that position because it lands up so tight to it, but in reality, players always play the cue ball to the baulk cushion.
Yeah, I guess McGill was a little lucky not to leave the red, having missed it. And now Robertson a bit fortunate to nestle against the yellow.
And the reason I say that it's fortunate, because had he not got the snooker, he could have left that red on to the right corner. So there's no way that he played that.
Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson, 4.
Well, Robertson was tapping the table there to applaud a good escape from Anthony McGill, only for the cue ball not quite to touch the red.
Can you just stop this? Cheers. Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson, 4.
Of course, McGill won't be warned because he's snookered on all reds behind the yellow.
Neil. Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson, 4.
Pace is okay, it's just the direction that's slightly awry.
Yeah, the problem is that he doesn't want to overcompensate and hit the other side of the red. He would leave the red on then.
Yeah.
So he's just a little bit wary about where it hits on the cushion.
Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson, 4.
Going to be take 5.
Okay. Yeah. Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson, 4.
Well, so close each time. But that's 5 misses. And as Philip said, can't be warned because he's snookered. At last.
That was a rather lucrative fluke snooker by Neil Robertson.
That's a very good reply from where he was. But there could be a red to the right corner. Not interested. And he's underhit that one by a long way. Just reaching the baulk line. He got the line of the shot, but not the speed. I played the cue ball back to the baulk area just in case he missed it. Now, can he get to a potting angle of a red?
Well, 28 points have been scored in this frame, and they've all been fouls. Still waiting for our first pod of this all-important 7th frame. Who is going to move to within one of the semi-finals in a meeting with Ronnie O'Sullivan or Jack Lazowski? They do battle this evening. 7 o'clock.
I don't think it'll be long. Now, he's opened the reds. Can Neil get to one? Hard to tell from here if he can pot it. Match time, just 2 hours. Well, hard to tell again. Lots of right-hand side on the cue ball to avoid the reds. And he'll be happy with that result. Just can't see enough of that red to pot it, so gotta think of the safety. I'd like to get the cue ball back to where it is now, or in that area. Unless you pot a ball like that, oh, he could have done with a kiss.
Wow.
Deserved more than 1 point, didn't it? What a pot.
Oh, cracking pot, wasn't it? He's thinking of taking the green on. Not even close.
Yeah, Robertson won.
Well, it was a brave shot, and Robertson has been positive at every opportunity today, but it was a risky one, wasn't it, knowing he was likely to be leaving McGill with a red. That's why he played it. Continue the break.
1. Thank you. Full. Anthony McGill, 4.
And again, that's a let-off. But again, he's got away with it. Well, that's a clever safety from Robertson. Don't think he's left a chance of the plant. Well, he couldn't do much there, Anthony McGill, but he should be in big trouble next shot and get the cue ball into the jaws of the green pocket area. to get the cue ball back. Or at the right side of the table. The pink just seems to be in the way of running down the table with the cue ball. If it hits the pink, it could leave the red on. Doesn't want to leave a touching ball.
Touching ball.
That's just what he didn't want. So McGill just trying to work out where he wants that cue ball. Jaws of the green pocket looks good to me. Thinking of playing the snooker in behind the green, coming off the baulk cushion. There's a little bit of danger with this shot though. And that's because Neil Robertson left a touching ball last time round. Not hard enough. Now, is there a red that will go? That was a long way short. Will it go past the red? Can he knock the red onto the red? He's thinking of knocking the red onto the red. But I think it would squeeze in off the pocket, in off the red. If he hits the angle first, I think it would squeeze in off the red. I think that was the more dangerous way to play it. Okay, if it had gone in, it was nicely on the pink. So that poor escape from Neil Robertson has given him a great chance.
This frame nearly 25 minutes old, just 2 reds down.
The rest are in fouls.
One.
Well, not a great positional shot that from such an easy red. To find himself the wrong side of the blue.
Six.
Well, that was all down to the first shot that he played. Not getting the right side of the blue from such an easy opener. It's just got a little scrappy now, this match. Obviously both players trying to get to that 4 stage, put themselves in sight of victory.
It's already comfortably the longest frame of the match and nowhere near completion. In fact, it's only just begun, in the words of the Carpenters.
Foul. Anthony McGill, 4.
Yet another foul stroke.
You won't be too bothered about it. This red down the cushion, a little bit too difficult. But at the moment, it's just gone walkabout. That's what they say in Australia, isn't it?
Well, we've still got some way to go to beat the all-time record frame in terms of duration, of course, which happened earlier this year in World Championship qualifying. Fergal O'Brien, Dave Gilbert, over 2 hours. 1 hour of that was on 1 ball.
Another safety mistake from Robertson, and it leaves a chance for Anthony McGill.
But then again, Joe, given we've nearly been going 33 minutes for 3 reds, do the maths. Could be 3 hours.
Quiet, please.
That might change things.
Yep, applause for a good red.
Six.
Well, he's having a little smile to himself because that wasn't a good positional shot to leave himself badly hampered over the brown. And he miscued and still potted it.
Well, I'm reliably informed that the greatest aggregate of points in a frame was one between Peter Lyons and Dominic Dale, 192 points, with 22 fouls. So we've got some way to go.
Yes, we thank our producers for that one.
They need to get out more.
$11. $12.
Well, he wanted to be top side of the blue to be able to split these 5 reds on the black cushion. And he's got to hit this at pace. Bring that cue ball away from the cushion. A little unfortunate to have got the full ball double kiss.
17.
But this red is still on. You can just about avoid the red nearest the cushion. Now, it wasn't easy.
Anthony McGill, 17.
Just 6 points the lead now then for Anthony McGill.
Yeah, look at the reds.
his safety play is letting him down a little bit. Neil Robertson, normally so good with the safety. This is another half chance. Disappointed. Yeah, right in the middle. Good pot. But still a tough table, this. Never touch the sides.
Seven.
Another good one.
8.
But just a little too far again on the blue. He could still play it. Send the cue ball into the reds by the right corner pocket. But not even looking at it. That's a great shot from McGill. And maybe you can bring more reds into play.
11.
That was a super cannon he just played there. I think he's got to trust to a little bit of luck here. Play it at pace, see what happens. Well, screwed away from them.
12.
And it's worked out nicely. He's got the angle on the blue to go back into the reds. Well, he's unfortunate.
17.
No idea how they're going to turn out when you play the cannon. He's got an easy safety. Try and get the cue ball dead on the cushion behind the yellow. The double kiss again, it's plagued him in this game. The double kiss.
So
Anthony
23
McGill,
points.
70.
Anthony McGill's lead as he looks to move in front in this match for the first time. Still 75 on the table, though.
And once again, the safety may have let Robertson down. Got a good cue ball. 83% safety.
One.
.24 points the lead. He's He's going to need one of those 3 reds on the black cushion.
6. Seven.
Well, if he can leave the cue ball high, so he can play the cannon to the reds from the red. Well, I prefer to play low on the red. I thought he could have screwed off the reds had he been high on this red. So needs an angle on the colour to be able to play the cannon.
14.
Hasn't got it. So unless he plays the blue, Robertson will be coming back to the table. Well, fortunately, he's missed the reds.
Anthony McGill, 14.
So this game not over yet. It's a good lead. But now the balls are there for the taking. Only the black safe-ish. Didn't get enough right-hand side on the cue ball either.
Thank you.
Well, it's a big target, this, the green and brown, to try and get the cue ball in behind. But there is danger that he could push a red over the right corner pocket if he plays that shot, and he's aware of it. And that's why he didn't play it.
.37 the difference in McGill's favour, still 51 on the table.
He's concerned about how the middle of those 3 reds is going to kiss the one on the cushion. Will it send it over that right corner? It needs to keep running. He'll be happy with that. It's covered the possible pot. And now McGill has got to do the same.
Well over twice as long as any other frame so far, but crucial.
Is it going to run? No. So a chance for Robertson. Not an easy table now with the 2 reds over the right side of the table. He won't be too disappointed with that. In fact, he's delighted. Well, again, if he plays off the red next to the black, he's really opening things up, and he doesn't want to do that. He's got a 37-point lead.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Looks like it's a toilet break.
Well, it has been a very long frame, very tense frame. It's a very important frame, clearly, with both players needing two to go through to the semi-finals. I think one or two members of the crowd will follow the lead of the players and stretch their legs. Comfort break as well, perhaps. Some refreshments. And you have to say that up until this frame, it's been pretty free-flowing stuff. Neil Robertson, 85, 79, 72. Anthony McGill, who's been behind 3 times, of course, each time managing to draw level with breaks of 65, 82 and 69. You always sense this match had the potential for one really long frame, and we've certainly got it now into its 48th minute. This is the tail of the tape, and the pot success was a good deal higher for both players before this frame started. For Neil Robertson, it was in the low 90s. Anthony McGill brushing 90 as well, but obviously a few pots have been missed in this one, so it's come down to some degree. But it's tense, tight, match play snooker in a really important tournament. And we've already mentioned, Joe, that the pressure is arguably more on Neil Robertson's shoulders because he's thinking about that master spot in the new year.
Yeah, that's right. But also, Anthony McGill, he's on right on the verge of the top 16. I think he's just in there at the moment. But he could so easily slip out, but this is a chance to secure his place. So it means a lot to both players, this match, and I'm not surprised it's got a little scrappy.
Remember, this is their 5th meeting, and Robertson has won all 4 coming into this one. So that might have been a mental hurdle for McGill to overcome, but he's a tough character. He's got a good temperament, McGill. It's one of his great strengths. And he's proved today that he can score as well when the opportunity arises. The balls have been awkward in this frame. A lot of snookers laid early on, a lot of foul points given away. But we're ready to rejoin the battle here in the 48th minute of frame 7. 3 apiece, 37 between them. But still plenty there for Robertson to pinch it if he can get in. And of course, whoever wins this will face the winner of tonight's match, and what a match it promises to be. Jack Lazowski, who produced a great break to see off Judd Trump last evening against Ronnie O'Sullivan, who came from 3-2 behind to beat John Higgins in surely the match of the tournament so far. So a lot to look forward to, and before all of that, we've also got Hussein Bafai of Iran taking on the warrior, Kyron Wilson.
Again, he could clip off the red 9 by the black, but he doesn't want to open these reds up. And he could also leave one on if he did play that shot. He's thinking of it, but if it went wrong, the balls would be there for the taking. It's a good chance to try and get the cue ball in behind the green. He's took the risk. And this is close. Not quite behind the green, and he's left a possible red on. With plenty of pressure on it. Not taking it on. Well, he might have wished he had done.
A red and a high-value colour is all McGill needs to get Neil Robertson to the snooker's required stage. And had that disappeared, he would have won the frame for sure. As it is...
Wait for it, wait for it. He's had another little bit of luck. He's blocked the pocket for the red. That would have gone to the middle pocket. There's the culprit. Just stopped Neil Robertson being able to pot that red closest to the middle. Didn't want to push the red to the cushion, but at the same time he didn't want to leave a possible pot. I think he did go for the pot, but he tried to cover the red to the right middle. Would have been on the black, and the black would be all he needed. Maybe a chance to get him behind the green. He seems to be under hitting things. He'll be happy with that. Hampered over the green.
Yes, although McGill is 37 in front, there's no longer anything safe, so has to be very careful.
Oh, what about that? And what a big risk that was. Had he not got the snooker, he'd left the red to the middle.
The snooker and one of those three reds safe as well. Well thought out shot, wasn't it?
Well, that was well worked out as well, hitting the right side of the red. Take the cue ball down the table. He was in a lot of trouble there, Robertson. Managed to cover that one. McGill happy for that red to be on the left side cushion. But the red that he can see, it's a possible double kiss if he plays safe off that one.
We're closing in on an hour of play here in this all-important 7th frame. Still 51 on the table, 37 Anthony McGill's lead. Jimmy White, Neil Foulds, of course, back in the studio watching this one. They can't all be 10-minute frames with century breaks, guys, but Jimmy, who do you fancy from here?
Well, obviously got to fancy McGill because he's got quite a big lead. But it's a shame, really, because the game has had 60 break plus in each frame, and this game's just gone a bit bogged down. Unfortunately, it happens now and again in snooker.
And Neil, McGill, he's a real battler, isn't he? He's been behind on 3 occasions in this match, but he's still got every opportunity to prevail here.
He certainly has. This has turned into a real stalemate of a frame, and I think you always feel if this was a deciding frame, you'd be more tolerant of it. But a frame that's gone this long and you still can't see an obvious conclusion to it, it kind of drains both players a little bit. It almost feels like this is to get through to the semi-finals, but it's not as long as the longest ever, because I did commentate on the 2-hour frame to get to the Crucible, but at least that was such huge rewards at the end. Whoever wins this frame is not sure to win the match.
Yes, and Neil had personal experience of that record-breaking frame. He was commentating on it, qualifying for the Crucible. We're not in that territory, but nearly 57 minutes old. And what a pot that is. Surely it's going to be a frame winner.
Well, he gave it lots of thought, didn't he? And then applied himself, and that was a super shot. He knew he only needed the red, really, because he was going to be on the black. And just the black needed.
So a snooker required then
8.
for Neil Robertson, who looks set to fall behind for the first time in the match.
Yes, he wanted that red to disappear, to keep Neil sat in his chair. And it has been a long frame. A hard-fought frame. Both players have given it everything.
11.
Yes, Anthony McGill gave away 5 consecutive fouls at one stage. That feels like an awfully long time ago now. But what a terrific red to effectively seal this 7th frame in his favour, barring something highly unlikely.
Anthony McGill, 11.
And Neil Robertson has had enough of that frame. I think, frankly, we all have. But Anthony McGill will be delighted to have won it, because he's now just a frame away from another major semi-final here in Barnsley. He leads 4-3. Final of the English Open, of being behind and with no margin for error now, because his next mistake might be his last shot of the tournament. 4-3 behind. 5, of course, the magic number for a place in the semis, a meeting with O'Sullivan or Lazowski.
Well, he's been left this long red to the right corner a few times this afternoon, and he's refused it each time. Just wonder if he's going to take it on again. Well, he's taking the more difficult red, because there's less chance of leaving a red on taking this one. That's a great pot. And the cue ball has come far enough for the black. What a tremendous pot this is.
Doesn't get much better than that from long range.
Has he overcut it? He has. Caught that near angle and stayed out.
Anthony McGill, 1.
And that was a chance to win
Just
frame and
wondered
match.
whether the lack of pace might see it drop at the last, but hung on the lip.
It always looked thin, didn't it? And I've seen the black seeming to come to the right corner, right jaw, when it's been coming across the table like that.
One.
I just wonder if he'll try and go into the pack of reds here. It's difficult to get the cue ball out of there and onto a red, so he might take the risk at trying to bust the pack open. No, played for the loose ones. And nothing wrong with that. I mean, he'll want to get his arm going again.
8.
It's been that long since he's put a break together. Just over an hour. In fact, an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, and that's why. Oh, well. Could the luck be changing, because Anthony has had his fair share. I just wondered if he raised his hand there.
Yes, he did apologise, but of course he doesn't mean it.
Of course he does.
17.
It means to pot every ball.
Let's have a look at the red that Robertson missed, but then in it went.
$23. 24.
Well, he could play for that red just above the black or go into them. Well, he tried to do it gently, and it looked to me as though it needed a bit more pace than that.
Yes, because the pack was quite flat, wasn't it?
And compact.
Neil Robertson, 29.
What can you do about that? He wasn't going for those long shots earlier, but he's certainly going for them now. And he's brought the black into play. Unfortunately, he's not on it this shot. Now he's going for the blue. It wasn't far away.
Anthony McGill,
A chance for Neil Robertson. The pink will go to the left corner. Doesn't need to do too much with the cue ball. There is pressure on the shot. Well, played for the black.
One.
And that's a very unlucky kiss. I thought it was safer just to play a little screw for the pink. Couldn't leave anything but the red he was playing on. But it's how you see the shot when you're down there. Very easy to tell people what to play from here.
This is already comfortably Anthony McGill's best showing against Neil Robertson. Previous 4 meetings, which all went against him, were won by Robertson by an aggregate 16 frames to 7.
And again, he's pushed the red towards the corner. He's got a good cue ball. And again, this is very tough, this red.
Foul.
Yeah.
Anthony McGill, 4.
That was such a tough shot, but had to go for it. Saving grace is he hasn't left anything. Again, he pushes the red towards that left corner this time. And again, he's got a good cue ball. And now there is danger with this one. The balls are nicely split. That's so close again. But could this be a chance for Anthony McGill? That's a terrific shot, and it could be a match winner. Clean as a whistle.
He's potted 3 outstanding balls from long range in this frame. That might just be the most important of them all.
Just wonder if he'll play for the black here. Get the black back onto its spot.
7.
He doesn't need to. He could play for the pink, but with the black back on its spot, it increases his chances.
8.
Red just passes the black. It doesn't like it. Doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball here. Just
16.
leave it where the red is for the pink. Wouldn't need the difficult brown if you could take big colours with these reds.
$22.
Well, the wildlife is getting in the way of McGill's concentration here. This is a vital break. It could take him to victory.
23.
Well, looking at the score, working things out. They're probably going to come down to that red on the cushion.
$29. $30. $37. $38.
£20 the difference. Important, it leaves an angle on the pink
44.
to be able to get to that red along the cushion. This is the big shot. Doesn't want to finish straight on the pink. Has he overcut it?
45.
I thought he'd missed that for a moment. Look at this. How did that drop? I hope the tables at the seniors are as easy as that next week. Well, he couldn't have struck that much better. He really meant that one.
51.
And you can see the determination on his face. This is the shot. Just needs the red. Robertson must think he's going home. It's there.
52.
And this is a great win, this, for Anthony McGill. His first win in 5 meetings.
Showed plenty of resilience when Robertson went ahead on 3 occasions.
59.
Each time coming back with a frame-winning break of his own to level. Then the marathon frame, which he eventually sealed just shy of an hour with an
61.
excellent red. And he's played an outstanding 8th frame here to seal the deal. 3 great long-range pots. He's been positive, He sensed his chance, he's gone for the jugular, and it's paid off. And so Neil Robertson's wait for another ranking title goes on. His last success in that regard, the Riga Masters at the start of last season. He has to settle for a quarter-final appearance here in Barnsley.
68.
For McGill, it's either the Rocket or Jack Klazowski who do battle this evening. It's been a really good match. The first 6 frames were very clean. The 7th was a real battle of attrition. But this has been mighty impressive stuff from Anthony McGill. This is the form that took out Selby at the Crucible a few seasons back and has put him into another major semi-final. A terrific clearance there of 86 from Anthony McGill to end Neil Robertson's hopes of a 13th ranking title. McGill going for a 3rd this weekend, and if he continues to play that well, he'll take a little bit of beat.